Hello everyone, and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. I would like to begin with saying thank you for the overwhelmingly positive response to my first spring video. This has inspired and taken me to such an inner joy that I am just bursting to color my world and share with yours. Today I will be sharing my finds and flowers as well as my DIY bird's nest with a twist and acrylic painted eggs. If you are just visiting, I invite you to subscribe and tap that bell to be notified when I post new videos. Now let's begin, shall we? So here is my sweet little bunny find that I found at TJ Maxx. I believe he was just $6.99. I loved his little green coveralls, so he came home with me. I do plan on changing a couple things on him though. And he's sitting on this stand that I purchased off of Facebook Marketplace. It is the perfect vintage patina. And I just have many different floral picks. Most of my floral, the lavender did come from Hobby Lobby, but the garlands, one other garland as well came from Hobby Lobby, but the majority of the floral that you will be seeing did come from Michael's. I have a couple bird cages from Michael's. Quite a few carrots and more to come. The sweet little rabbits. And those came from a local boutique here in North Carolina. And these cute little succulent, they're like little succulent berries. I just fell in love with them. A rabbit statue from Ross. I believe I'm going to paint him. Not quite sure what yet. Just a couple hydrangeas and a few prints in the background and bird nests and lemons. Quite a bit of floral this time. I am going to be building something quite large for our mantle for spring. These lemon picks. And I also purchased this iron stand, wall stand. I just love this piece. It's vintage. And I found that on Marketplace. And I did purchase me another bird print from Hobby Lobby. And again, just various different florals and a couple bird nests. These little delicate, sweet little purple berries. Some sweet little chickies. And a carrot plaque. So I'll be going more into detail as I use the pieces, of course. And then there is that box in the back that has the lemons in it. That's going to be absolutely perfect, what I'm trying to do. So here is the different stages in painting the acrylic eggs. This is a paper mache. And this is the acrylic paint. It's a Bluebell Folk Art from Michael's. and then Sky Mist for the dry painting. And then I did use the wax from Michaels to give the aged effect. And then lastly, polyacrylic. And I used the clear matte finish. So the unfinished egg, and then the first step is the bluebell. And the second step, I dry brushed with the Sky Mist. This gives the egg more depth when you place on the glaze right here. And this egg has been polyed. So this one has already been painted, and now I'm going to go ahead and dry brush it. And there's no right or wrong way in doing this process. Sometimes a little more is applied and sometimes a little less, and it's perfectly fine. However much variation you want in your egg, well, that's how much you apply. You just stroke back and forth. See, that went on really heavy right there. It's actually kind of fun doing this because each one has its own unique character. No two are alike. And it dries very quickly. And that's it for that step. Pretty simple. Now we will start the glazing process. So you see there, that's where the dry brushing went on heavier. So it gives it a nice effect, really aged. A nice patina to it. So again, the glaze came from Michaels, and I like to heavily apply it. because I like a very aged look. So I just put one really good coat on all the way around. And you can do more than one if you want it darker, but I myself just prefer the one. There's a lot of pretty eggs out there right now, but I just couldn't find the warm smoky blue color. So that's why I just decided to make my own. As you can tell by my gloves, I've been making quite a few of them today. Just place it. I put mine in my husband's shop towels from the garage, and you just pat it. And there you have it. And next is the glazing process. Not glazing, I apologize, the poly process. And it's always just so fun to see how each egg is going to turn out, because it's always different. Now I poly half of it, and then I place it down and I let it dry, and then I poly the other half. So there we have the 5 different steps. And now to start on the nest. So before we begin that, again, this is the paper mache. So all the medium-size eggs are paper mache. And the larger ones, those are foam. And the smaller ones are wood. Again, I used the bluebell for the base, and I do half on one side, let it dry, and then I do the other half. And then the dry brushing. And the glaze. These were so much fun. Now let's start to build this nest. I started with the base nest that was purchased from Michael's. I believe it was $5 and something. And here is a finished nest with many different elements in it. I mixed two different types of mosses together for variation, and some wood sticks. I actually broke those off from a wreath, and then some moss. And those are just little extra pieces that have been broken off, and some leaves. And this right here. What a beauty. When I was leaving a restaurant, I seen this perfectly peeling tree saying, "Bev, come to me." So I did. I went over there and started peeling the tree and brought it home to share with you as I make the nest with it. So we just start by putting hot glue on the bottom and pressing the moss onto the nest. It's just a build-up. You start with the base of the moss. I'll be going around. Now as you're doing this, you want to let little pieces of the stick still be visible. You'll see as I move along in this project how I allow for that to happen. These branches are perfect. They have a natural curve to them already, so you just snap them off and you fit them around your nest. If it's too long, you just break a little piece off and you just keep wrapping it around your nest. It's all to your liking. So see, here's some of the branch that I'm allowing to show through the moss. And this basket is perfect because no hot glue is needed. You just go ahead and press the branch through there and it just holds in place, and wrap it around to wherever you want it. I wanted to start on the top first. And however many pieces you want going across the top, that's how much you place. What's nice with this branch wreath is sometimes you get these little curly whirly pieces coming off the branch, or a little piece of pine. It adds a nice touch. And if your branch breaks, no worries. You just get another one because they will break. This was probably the most time-consuming part out of all, placing the branches around, because I really wanted quite a bit. See, as you can see, that branch broke. So you just get another one. So as you can see, I'm just going around the basket, just adding many different branches going around. I'm sure some of you are going, wait a minute, she's working on top of her table. It's okay, it's actually protected, so it's just fine. It's a nice view right there of all the different branches going around. Now we're going to start placing in some of the moss. And I really don't use that much hot glue. I just place it in there and the moss just holds it in place. And yeah, it just works. And if pieces fall out, that's fine. You just refresh it. And here's the fabulous bark. This was so fun to work with. People must have thought I was mad or something when I went over there and just started peeling the trees. I left with a bag full, and I will be returning. You just place the bark around. This is such a fun project. It's a no-fuss type of project. These are all the loose pieces, and I just sprinkle them around and press them in. And I actually think a birdie would be pleased with what I have just created. I know I am. And here is a bird's nest. So much fun to make. Now for the twist. It doesn't have to just be a nest. I can show you what else. Here's a branch I actually purchased from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to place it on top of the nest and turn it now into a basket. You just take both wired ends and you tuck it in to the nest and you just twist it around to hold it in place. And then you just shape the handle. Took me a moment to figure this out since this is the first time I've ever built a nest. Well, actually the second time. This is my second nest. And you just shape it. Now I will be adding some sweet little berries to this basket as well. Just love this.